Hi Doers! Today we are going to talk about a topic that belongs to the wealth stage called invest to grow wealth. To put you in the right direction, I've been obsessed with creating well-being and wealth-building strategies. As a result, I find out that in our life there are only 7 stages, and I call them the 7 wealth stages of life. They are about mindset, potential of elite skills, personal finance, investment, personal growth, scalability, and abundant life. That's the direction of my personal Path VC brand. That being said, my purpose within the invest to grow wealth stage is to educate you on investment skills that could pay off for the rest of your life. In fact, when I finally began making and managing money, I didn't want to keep it in a bank. Needless to say, my prior naive investments in dubious systems, so I didn't want to make the same stupid blunder. But you know what? I didn't blame that business where I invested in, but instead I took a step back and looked at my skills, my investment skills. After my findings, I became horrified because I discovered my zero to non-investment knowledge. And yes, as you may know, I read a book called How Money Works, and I explored that investing might be simple and uncomplicated, but it didn't give me immediately the confidence to start building my net worth. So deep down in my mind, I discovered a lack of knowledge on fundamental investing, but more importantly, knowledge on professional investment strategies. And it began with a perception of not being limited to invest only in ETFs or in mutual funds with high fees, because my interest was to explore investing in a particular sector in the stock market and learn the real intrinsic value of the companies. Besides that, I needed to grow my analytical skills in real estate investing. Now, at this point, you may probably recognize where I direct this topic. And yes, you may guess it right, because today I'm going to speak my own opinion about why you should invest in yourself first over anything else. Let's dive in. The truth is, when I research YouTube, I see tons of videos addressing investment in particular stocks or any other easy to buy assets. Well, and guess what? Even if these educational videos disclaim to not invest in recommended stocks or any other assets, unfortunately, in my opinion, people take this advice for granted. You can read many comments around it. And while the majority of folks don't perform any deep analysis, what happens is they end up buying high and selling low. That's the conventional principle of a poor mindset. In fact, when I talk to people, for example yesterday, that person told me that she has never made a few dollars profit. I asked why that is. Her answer was very lame. Because those stocks I pick don't grow in value. And if you think about her answer, it touches the fact of lack of investment skills. So I think now is the right time to talk deeply about investing in yourself. The problem is, a lot of people don't want to devote their time to learn. Look, I've developed my career on a skill that I call elite SEO skills. And I formed and forced myself to learn in depth and execute as much as I could around it. Then I realized that the market is missing high-level elite SEO strategies in highly regulated niches. So I shaped my personality to become one of them. Stay with me, because I'm going to tell you how. As an elite SEO strategist, I've been mentored by top SEO marketers online. And when speaking on strategic thinking, I had a privilege to work with an exceptional head of digital strategies from Australia. During that time, I discovered that SEO isn't just a technical bunch of stuff and staying within my own box of thinking, I found that it's stronger to learn a deep strategic process while leveraging the SEO acquisition channel. In fact, this friend of mine called me one of the brightest and most passionate advocates of SEO he has come across in his 13 years of digital experience. You see, the point here is to intensively invest in yourself first, in your skills. For example, I teach my 12-year-old nephew why rental income is important to his life and how powerful is compound interest. So why am I doing it? Why do I love talking about investment and money? Because money is usually taboo to talk within poor and middle-class families. And a topic such as investing in yourself is rare to talk as well. But I want to change it, and that's why I bring these topics frequently to the surface. Remember this: investing in yourself requires discipline, determination, and time. Let me share with you something more. Recently, I came across this quote, which is now pinned on my wall. Wealth is discretionary time, and a strong brand is what creates that wealth. And when you read it and think about it, it's so logical and wise. But wait, there is more. Because investing in yourself doesn't correlate only with making money. Let's talk now a while about an example of investing in your creativity. My wifey produces amazing colorful drinks in her spare time. It goes from her heart. And anytime when she spends time making those drinks in the kitchen, I can see her passion. I asked her recently what she would like to do in her ideal career. And her answer was making these types of fancy drinks. So it circles to the fact that she desires to invest in herself and devote her time to creativity. You can check her Instagram profile to see what I mean by that. The truth is, investing time in your creativity is a catalyst in the never-ending learning process of your life. The next example is very simple and you can see it everywhere. It's about reading. I love this following path from being a dreamer to a high achiever. Because if you want to become a doer, one of the first steps is to read as much as you can. Yes, I know what you are thinking. You hear it everywhere, but are you practicing it? I used to ignore reading, but since traveling and living abroad, I've read many books. In fact, reading books became one of the 7 wealth stages called Execute 7 Powerful Book Ideas at Pat VC's personal brand. The difference here is that it's not only about reading and putting aside. Instead, it's about taking those valuable ideas that have been gathered by that particular writer and compressed into one book and then execute them. For example, without reading books, I wouldn't have started building my real estate portfolio. But that's another story. One more thing I want to mention here. It's taking care of yourself and investing in your health. Listen, during my living abroad, I visited a few specialists to help me get rid of my back pain or even reduce stress. But none of them couldn't help me, or they couldn't figure out what's going on within me. Well, my body is probably mysterious. However, the point here is I didn't give up. I invested time to find out the solution, which was discovering the power of the emerging healthcare industry with cultivation of hemp and its cannabinoid called CBD. I devoted my time to discovering the power of this mysterious plant. And while using CBD all daily, it helps me to reduce anxiety, calm stress, increase appetite, and overall, I feel much better. In other words, I realized that listening to your body is one of the most crucial duties to invest in your well-being. So if I should summarize this topic into one short sentence, I would say this: when you invest in yourself, you choose to be happy. So, isn't that what are you looking for? And because you stick with me to the end, here is the most important takeaway. This is simple, yet sometimes unbelievable truth. If you invest frequently in yourself, countless doors of opportunities will show up. So now you tell me, are you going to invest in your physical appearance? Or do you need to control emotions and mindfulness? What about enhancing your financial literacy and learning assets that will take you to your dream destination? Whatever you need to develop, it's only up to you. But I can assure you, once you do that, you will become a better version of yourself. And eventually, you will become a people magnet because of your recognizable personality. Last but not least, and this is important, if you follow firmly investing in yourself, holistic wealth will show up. That's all for today's wealth stage called Invest to Grow Wealth. And as a reminder, go and subscribe to my channel because every week you will receive a video within the 7 wealth stages of life. As you know, besides learning how to invest to grow wealth, I've been obsessed with creating well-being and wealth-building strategies. That's the reason why I've been talking and writing about topics related to the 7 wealth stages. Because our Path VC channel helps you to become a doer. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week.